He's not supposed to be here!
Are you okay, Russell?
Nothing matters. None of it matters. It's all just going to happen again and again, no matter what I do.
Russell, do you want me to call the vet?
Call the vet? Why? You'll just have to call him again tomorrow!
Russell, what are you doing? Russell, that's enough.
Nothing's enough. Nothing will ever be enough!
Russell, stop. I'm gonna call the vet.
Get back! All of you! I have outlet covers and I'm not afraid. That's it! I'm gonna give you such a thrashing!
Jeez Louise, cool.
If you say one word to anyone, I'll never speak to you again!
I am dead from the neck
Your
up.
absence was noticed, Pashmina. Since you missed the play, perhaps later I could recreate a few scenes for your amusement.
Yeah, I'll help. I'll play Hamlet. You be the invisible ghost.
No, I'm Hamlet.
Sorry, Cole.
Hello there.
Could you just get to the point already?
What's up, everyone, and welcome to my new show, Exceptionally Animated, where we invite special voice actors and animators on the show and chat. And here's our first guest, Sam Vincent.
Hello, everybody. This is going to be exceptional.
Yes, it is.
I'll try
I
and
got
be as
my
animated as
IHOP cup
possible.
right
Yes.
here.
You got the IHOP cup. I don't have an IHOP cup, but you know.
Yeah, but this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. So, so anyway, for those of you who don't know, who haven't been following my Instagram, I met Sam recently in Springfield, Illinois, and
right.
we did a video together. It went viral.
It went viral.
Yes,
The
it did.
ads.
Yes, with the ads. Yes, all three ads. We had Matt Hill and Tony Sampson as well. And if you want to check it out, be sure to go on the Exceptional Gabe on Instagram. And it's amazing. Like, I wish everyone could have been there. It was amazing.
It was fun. You had those Trolls dolls, and we thought, why not make them the Cankers?
Yes, yes.
That was
So,
fun.
have them right here.
Oh boy, there they are.
Yeah, so Sam was in the show, Trolls, that's Trolls with a Z. He played the
Right.
voice of Alabaster. What was your experience on that show? Do you have any memories of being on that show?
Oh, I had a lot of fun on that show. And it was a long time ago for me now, but it was a lot of fun, to be honest with you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it sounds like the show didn't do very well, I guess. Like, it was a
Yeah,
big animation show.
never really got legs. It didn't really go anywhere, but
Yeah,
it's fun.
and so like many underrated animated shows, I rewatched it because I remember watching it as a kid on CBS every Saturday mornings, because Dick Animation had like their own animation block on CBS, and um, it's actually very good. I was very surprised because in like the third episode, they introduced the villains Snarf and Simon, I think their names was, and it got like surprisingly dark. Like seriously.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when you get a chance, I would highly recommend rewatching the show because it's like surprisingly really good.
I think I went back on YouTube and found an episode and watched it again.
Yeah. It's much better.
Like the whole cast was fun. A lot
Yeah.
of great women cast in that, different characters, and some people that people might know from other shows. And also a
Yeah.
friend of mine, Michael Antonakis, I think that was his first prelay, so that was his introduction to the prelay world, and met him back in the day too, so that was fun.
Yeah. You had a great cast. You had like Alex Kodo is one of my favorite voice
That's
actors.
right,
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah, she
It's been
voiced
a, it's been a
Sapphire
while.
for here.
Yeah,
Who else did you have? You had Brit. Brit was on that show.
Brett McKillop was on there too.
Yeah, you had
Yep.
Kiara. Uh,
Chiarazani.
yeah, yeah, she's another
Yep.
favorite of mine. Uh,
Yeah.
you had, of course, Matt Hill, who played one of the
Yes.
boys. Uh, yeah. Oh, you had Janice, who was Sarah from Ed and Eddie.
Oh, Janice.
Yeah, Janice. That's how you pronounce it. Okay.
Janice. Yeah, Janice showed. Okay. Wasn't Tabitha St. Germain on there too? Or am I
Um,
getting?
I can't remember.
Oh, but she's usually in everything. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, that was Ashley Ball was even in that show. That was one of her earliest
Okay.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was a good show. And you were also in another great show that had like just about every Canadian voice actor known to man, called Care Bears Adventures in Kerala. I'm sure you remember that show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first venture into the Care Bear world,
So,
and I was thinking it was Amigo Bear and Good Luck Bear.
yep, yep, yep. And that show is probably one of my favorite iterations of the Care Bears franchise
Oh
because
really?
yeah, that's the one I grew up with. It was on this. That was also done by Deke as well. It was on the same block as this show
Uh,
on CBS,
Good
and
old Deke.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they did a lot of shows I grew up with.
Yeah.
Um,
They hired me a lot too, so thank you, Deke.
Yes, yes, yeah. And actually, I don't know if you saw the pictures. If you scroll through my Instagram, it's buried in there. I went on a trip to Burbank in October to record a demo reel.
Oh
And
yeah.
I actually got to visit Dick's old animation studio. And no joke, the doors, I could just walk right in. And I
Wow.
went in there. It's now like a bank building now, but they had like the old directory, and you can see like the on the directory the logo skull or whatever, where it used to say Dick Animation. If you look like really hard, it was so cool.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm surprised I did not get kicked out, but that was fun.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you didn't get kicked out either. That would have
Yeah, yeah.
put a
Um,
damper on the day.
yeah, yeah. But that was fun, a fun trip. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. What was your experience like working on Kill Bills? Any fun memories on that show?
Just a lot of caring and sharing. I,
A lot of caring and
it was
sharing.
fun. It was fun. Another show, all of us Canadian actors all in there doing our thing.
Yeah,
It was a fun show to watch.
yeah. Of course,
Um,
that was actually yeah, that was Ashley Ball's first ever show, I believe. Uh,
wow,
yeah,
really?
yeah. And you also had everyone else. Matt was there too. You had Tabitha St. Germain. You had again all of the good ones.
I think
So
Ian Corlett was in there too, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah, he was
Mm.
Funshine Bear, I think. I can't remember.
Figures. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ian being
but
Funshine Bear.
yeah, it's been a while since I watched it, so I
He
can't
likes the
remember.
sun.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
let me think. You were also in Baby Looney Tunes. That's another one you did. And that had to be a fun experience because you were voicing not one, but like I think it was like you voiced
Three.
three of the Looney Tunes. What was that like voicing some of the most like famous cartoon characters of our time?
I was very, very excited. Very excited to do it. Um, and yeah, it was when I heard the news that I got to be
Um, baby Bugs, and baby Daffy. Oh, and baby Tweety as well.
I was very, very excited to be able to do though. And I like the fact that I was tackling them in baby form because it was felt like I just needed to capture the essence of these characters
Yes.
and not necessarily have to do a direct, mimicry of it. I just needed to capture their essence, and that was what made it fun. It was its own thing, which was really cool. And it was fun being in there with the other cast members and
Oh yeah.
having a lot of fun. There, a lot of Britt McKillop was in there. Ian Corlett was in there as Taz, and Terry Klassen was in there as Sylvester, and um, Chiara Zani was in there as a little pig Petunia.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It was fun.
Yeah, yeah. So that was around the time Warner Brothers was using a lot of Vancouver actors in their animated shows. Like there was also you may have been in this show as well. There was a show called Coconut Fred, Salad Island. Remember that show?
Coconut Fred, yeah, I know of that show. I don't know. Sometimes I might have done like a episode of a show, but I didn't have a regular part in it. But definitely remember that show.
Yeah, yeah. That
But
show used a lot of
yeah.
Vancouver actors, and they also had Rob Paulsen as the lead voice. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Cool.
I've also met the current voice of all the Looney Tunes. Do you know Eric Bauza?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I first met Eric back in the day when I was doing Baby Looney Tunes. Eric was in Vancouver, working in production,
Oh wow.
coordination, in some capacity. And so I met him back in the day, and he's come such a long way with what he's doing now. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I met him in San Diego because he's in the Super Mario Brothers movie. Great movie, by the way. Uh,
Yeah.
and I got to meet him, and then we got to see. Well, actually, no, we did not get to see an early screening of the movie. They were going to show it, and then all of a sudden they came over the PA and was like, we will not be showing an early screening because of technical difficulties." And it's like, seriously? And you know what they decided to show instead? No joke. They were like, instead, we're going to show Tetris the movie, and then no joke, like half of the people in the theater just walked out. They just walked out.
Tetris, the movie. When's I thought that wasn't coming out yet, or is it coming out?
No, you're thinking of Minecraft the movie.
Oh, Minecraft. Sorry, getting my Tetris and my Minecraft mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. But judging by half the people walking out of the theater, I can only guess that it's not very good.
Ah,
Yeah.
huh.
But that was fun though. San Diego was fun. I also got to see this was one of my biggest inspirations. I don't know if you met her before, Jessica DiCicco.
I know the name. I'm not sure if I've met her. I mean, I wonder if she was at NostalgiaCon in Houston. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think she was because she doesn't do many of these conventions.
Yeah.
But I got the
Where did you meet her?
in San Diego as well because she was also in the Mario
Oh,
movie with Eric, and they also had like Kevin Michael Richardson and a bunch of other like
wow.
amazing voice actors in that movie. So anyway, one more memory of Baby Looney Tunes, probably the episode I remember the most. I watched that show a lot back in the day. But I remember there was one episode with a baby treaty, and they were trying to call like their aunt or someone, and they called China. Remember that?
We called China.
You both sound very nice. And maybe someday I can visit Granny's house.
You can come right now. We were bored until we called you. I think I have to go now.
Got on the
Yeah,
phone, long distance. Granny's phone bill probably wasn't going to be good
yeah.
at that point.
Granny was not happy for that long distance call. Yeah, and there was of course
Oh
the
man.
episode that became a meme, the one where Daffy cussed.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. People ask me, I can't remember how we did that. I'm not sure if I actually really cussed and then they covered it up or not. Like I'm trying to remember that, but I remember that day where we were
Yeah,
doing this. He's Daffy swearing, and It turned out pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
The
All
final thing.
right. So, let's move on to another show. You were also in Sonic Underground. You were the singing voice of Sonic.
That's right, Sonic. We're all in this together. Birds of a feather, baby.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
Yes, yes, Sonic Underground. That was also, for the record, that was also Dick Entertainment.
Deke.
Yeah.
Yes, Deke kept me employed back in the day. Thank you, Deke.
Yeah, so that's an underrated show, Sonic Underground. The animation is surprisingly like really good. They designed the characters off of the previous Sonic show. Sonic, I think it's just called Sonic the Hedgehog, but they kept the same like character designs from that show. For some reason, I don't think Tails was in Sonic Underground though.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah,
I remember I like when I was doing it, I was just going in to do the songs, so I wasn't as fully aware of what was all going on with the different characters on screen until I it came
yeah,
out.
of course.
During the time, I would just go in and do the
Yeah,
songs.
yeah. Of course, Sonic's actual voice was Joel White of Steve Urkel from Family Matters. Uh,
Yeah.
and he did like all of the Sonic cartoons back in the 90s because there were two other ones. There was also The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I think was the first one that came out. Um, and then
He was Sonic. He was
yeah,
Sonic for all those series. For
and then
sure.
after that, I haven't been really keeping track of all the Sonic series after that because I'm old school. Like, I mean, I could barely get the Zoom set up. I'm still using floppy disks and Windows 95.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's old school. Don't make me show you my Commodore 64 computer from back in 19.
Commodore, oh, that,
I'm joking. I don't have a Commodore 64.
oh, you don't?
Um,
I have,
no.
it's too big to pick up. I'll show you. I have one of those old iMacs. Remember those that you could see through the computer and
Oh yeah, yeah, those are classic.
yeah, yeah. So one of the things me and Sam have in common is we love collecting stuff. We love vintage toys and just stuff like that.
Yes, I do like to collect. I do.
Yeah, and one of my favorite videos of yours on your Instagram page is someone asked you if you collect any toys of the voices characters you voiced in the past,
Right.
and you were showing all the toys you have of characters you voiced, and that was really cool.
Yeah, well, it was fun to do because, over the years if I see something that I was in, I try and pick it up. Um, because I like to go thrifting anyway. So if I'm out there, if I can find something that is related to a show I did. Yeah, I like to try and grab it. So it's always fun. It's always a fun thing for
Yeah,
sure.
you like to go to Goodwill.
Yeah, our version of Goodwill in Canada, we have different versions: Salvation Army, Value Village, and then maybe local thrift like auxiliary hospital thrift shops and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, that
I do
that's
my
cool. That's cool.
we do the rounds and try and find things. So and
Yeah,
I also like to do toy shows too. So that's the kind of thing that I do is I'll go and do some stuff and sell at toy shows as well.
yeah, like you. Technically, the show in Illinois that was kind of a toy show a little bit.
Yeah, that was fun for me. I got to go there and meet fans and then to do a little search around for something that I might be able to. I like to usually find something to take home as a memory from
Uh,
the shows. Something
Definitely,
to help remember.
definitely.
Yeah, what I did at a show.
You got to meet me. That was your memory.
Yes, that was a good memory.
Yes,
That was good.
we got the video. That was the best part of that show.
Yes, that was a good video.
Yeah.
People like
Um,
that one.
yeah. So, let me think. So, okay, so I talked about Baby Looney Tunes. You were also in Tom and Jerry Tales, and that's another, very famous character. So, do you have any memories of being on that show?
Just having, it was basically myself and Don Brown who played the voice of Tom, and us just being in the studio together having it was fun. Another one of those things. I grew up watching Tom and Jerry, obviously the first versions of that
Yeah,
show, and watched a lot of it growing up. So it was just another great opportunity to go in and play, have fun playing the character. I mean, with Jerry, there wasn't a lot, in terms of it's just like little reactions or
yeah,
curiosities or
yeah,
nibbling, or like falling, all these kind of like what I consider walla sounds.
yeah,
But Don also playing, he had some great, like when Tom would like, get his, thumb or something stuck in a door or whatever, and he's
yeah,
like, ouch, all those classic Tomisms. It was fun to watch Don do that. That was a lot of fun. And
yeah. Definitely, definitely. Let me think. There's so many shows you're in. I'm trying to think of what to talk about next. Um, because I'm trying to save the big shows for last, and you know the ones.
oh, I see. We're
Yeah,
working our way up the hill.
yeah, yeah.
We're
Up
going
the
roller
hill.
coaster ride. Ah!
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. Um, Okay, I thought of a really random one, okay?
Yeah.
So probably no one here in the US have heard of this show because I don't think it ever heard, ooh, I cannot talk. I don't think it ever aired over here in the US, but there was this show on Teletoon in Canada that you and again just about everyone else was in called What About Mimi? Remember that show?
What about Mimi? Yes. Yes, I do remember that show. I I wasn't in a ton of episodes. I was in a few. I think I played Mimi's brother in that one. And
Yeah.
I think Mimi was played by Chiara Zani, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
Kiarazani voiced Mimi,
Yeah.
and even Tony
Yeah.
Sampson was in that show.
Was Tony in there too?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
That was
He
one
was.
of those, yeah, that was one of those
Yeah.
shows that I think it was a Studio B production at the time, and then it had a distro deal with Teletoon and maybe some other markets. But yeah, I don't think it ever got to the States. But yeah, I remember that show for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony Sampson. He was like the bully, and it's like I watched a couple episodes recently, and it's so funny. It's like you watch it, and all you hear is Eddie, and I'm just waiting for him to say "Jawbreakers."
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't honestly I don't remember Tony in that one. Like I know Tony was working on stuff, but I think the first time I really got to know Tony was on Ed, Ed and Eddie. And I think he was also working on this on camera show called The Odyssey, which was a show, I don't know if you knew that, but it was on the CBC up here,
oh wow.
and it was an on-camera role that he played in, and people like voice actors that you might know have heard of, like Mark Hildreth, who's from Vancouver. He's done a lot of stuff. He was in
Mm.
that show as well. So yeah, okay. What about Mimi, Tony?
Yeah. And you know what? Here. I'm gonna get on my phone right now. I've got like a little list prepared in case if I forgot of some of the other shows I was gonna ask you about.
Okay.
Um, almost had all of them prepared. Uh, okay, all right. So I talked about almost all of them. I've got a couple more. Um, so you were in Crypto the Super Dog. That's a pretty big one because you are the main character, Crypto, obviously.
That's right, I was Crypto the Super Dog. Ruff ruff and away! Never
So
fear, Crypto's here! Oh no! Kryptonite! Boink. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, that show. I had a great time on that one. It was
Yeah. Um,
actually
so
a friend of mine just got me a couple of cool Kryptonite, Crypto the Superdog um, uh, figures as a gift. I got Mechanicat now, the
that's
evil
so cool.
played by Mark Oliver. That was the first time I ever worked with Mark Oliver, and he's gone on to do other shows that I've been involved with, like Ninjago and Gundam Seed and stuff like that. But that was my first time meeting him, Mark, and he's such a character, and yeah. Anyway, it was a fun show, and he was a great villain in that one. He always plays great villains.
Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, what were some of your like best memories from that show besides working with Mark Oliver for the first time? Do you have any other like fun experiences on that show?
I just I just really liked the way the show looked. I liked the design of the characters. It felt it had still had like a classic feel to it, which I really enjoyed.
Yes.
Um, and I I enjoyed all the characters, just doing different things. I liked when Scott McNeil showed up as Bad Hound, and we had our little adventures, and Brian Drummond in there as Streaky was a lot of fun too. My sidekick Streaky the cat, he that was a lot of fun having him there. Um, and then I think it was the All Star. What is they called? The All Star team. They had the dogs. They had the like the Wiener dog and the other dogs that were like part of the team that came to fight crime with us as well. Probably not getting the name right, but it was just a it was just a great show. I loved the show for kids, and I think a lot of adults watched it as well and enjoyed it. And it was just the design of of everything I loved as well, the way it looked. It
Yeah,
was
it was
very
good show
happy.
because like um I can't again, it's been a long time since I've seen that show as well, but I used to watch that on Cartoon Network back in the day. Uh did Superman ever appear on the show? I can't remember.
Superman showed up in the first episode, and Michael Dangerfield played Superman. And
Okay.
then he never came back. Unfortunately for Superman, because I remember Michael Dangerfield was very excited to be tackling, such an iconic character like Superman. And then he kind of showed up when I got to Earth, and that's a great job, Crypto. And, and I was like, hey, it's my owner. He's here. Yay. And then he just never showed up again because it was really a kind of the pet centric
Yeah.
show. I guess there was no place for Superman, which
Yeah, because
sucked. It would have been cool to see Superman more often than he showed up.
exactly. Because if you think about it, all of the characters, they're like the pet versions of all of the like big DC superheroes. Like you had Batman, and who else? See, I'm not.
Well, for a Crypto,
Yeah,
you
yeah, like there was like the dog that was like the I can't remember his name. See, it's been a long time since I've seen the show. Uh the dog, they had like a dog that was like the dog version of Batman, kind of like Crypto
yeah,
was.
Bat Hound, yeah, they had Bat Hound,
That's it. Yes.
yeah, Bat Hound,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that sometime because that was a good show. And I remember the your owner's mom was voiced by Nicole Oliver,
Oh,
aka Zoe
Nicole.
Trent.
Nicole always plays a great mom too. She's got
Yeah.
yeah.
So thinking of Nicole Oliver, let's talk about one of my favorite shows, Littlest Pet Shop.
Yeah. Think
And
about all the things that you want to do.
it all comes true.
Yeah.
That's
That was
Ashley
fun.
Ball, isn't it?
Ashley Ball. Yeah, Ashley Ball did the singing and was Blythe, and that was that was a great fun show. It was a lot of fun to do. Everybody just had a good time doing it, and everybody in the cast was just so good to work with, and they all had, you know, they all had great characters. Jocelyn as Penny, and you had everybody in there. Peter New and Kyle, and The whole cast was great. It was so much. There you are. You got it. Oh boy, here we go. Minka and that's actually
Pepper Cloud.
Is that Sunil in the middle there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Sunil. Yeah. And then yeah, you had Tabitha as the skunk. Such a good show.
I'm still trying to find the rest of these.
Yeah, where are you managing to find the ones you have? Where did you find those?
eBay. So, unfortunately, the two hardest to find um, is Vinny and Russell Ferguson. And let me tell you why. Because for whatever reason, they were German exclusives, so I can only find them like on German like shopping
Websites.
sites.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah. Well, good luck with that. Because if I find one, I find it before you, I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah, because I need a Russell Ferguson plush, and of course, if I find one, I'll send a picture to you.
Yeah, send me a picture.
Yeah, and I sent you a picture. I was at a antique mall in LaPorte, Indiana, which is great antique mall. They have so many toys there. It's amazing.
Yeah, that
I
looks cool.
found 10 Russell Ferguson toys.
10. Wow. I've got 3 different ones. I think which was it? Who did the fast food? Which fast food chain did a
McDonald's.
really? Was it McDonald's? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've managed to find one version of Russell from that. I think it's the skateboard that he's on.
Oh
I think
yeah.
that's the one with the skateboard. Uh, yeah.
Saw your video. The yo chilling on the skateboard, looking for the rubber pads.
That's right. I found that one in a thrift store.
Yeah. Yeah, Littlest Pet Shop was amazing. The animation was really good.
And the
Um,
songs were cool too.
yes, the songs was probably the best part. Like Zoe Trent, the singing voice. Who did the singing voice? I think it was Kylie Epp, if I'm not mistaken. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Kylie Epp, I think that's the way, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she did the singing voice for Zoe Trent. Like that was amazing. Like she by far had one of the best voices whenever they did the songs, because you had like the song that was like
Mhm.
dance like you know you can. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, right. Dance it like you know. Well, Daniel Ingram, who is the composer for all those songs, he did all the stuff on My Little Pony as well.
Yeah.
Very talented. Um, just being able to take a genre of music and make it, anything. It doesn't matter any style or genre of music. You'll be able to create a song using that style and just have it like so much fun.
Yeah. And there was also the song, this is probably one of my favorites. I actually used it when I uploaded the picture of us, the song that's like a human
Oh yeah,
area.
Humanitarian. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, because they used all like the 1980s aspects, and
Exactly. He nailed it with that the 80s vibe. A humanitarian. Da, 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 da. Sick human. Yeah, that was great.
yeah.
Loved it.
Um
And I liked our little ode to the Michael Jackson Thriller one.
oh yeah, when
Someone
they
was just
thought,
asking me about that.
yeah.
I got to do the intro, the Vincent Price scary voice at the beginning. I can't remember what the name of the song was. Oh, it's Wolfified.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Wolfified, yeah.
Wolfified. Wolfified. Ba, ba, ba. Anyway, that was all the songs were a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
like the when you're a guy ba 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 na na da ba na na
Oh
na na
yeah.
na 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 na. That
That
was fun.
I think that was the episode that's one of my favorites, the one where they got stuck in the uh dumbwaiter. I think that was
Right. And
yeah.
I guess the quintessential Russell song where it was his song, it was like, it's so much fun being fun. It's so much fun being fun.
Oh yeah,
Da-da-da-da. That was a fun song to do.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that one. That was the one where like everyone was like, "Dude, lighten up," because like
Right,
Russell was
right,
always
right,
like
right,
the
right.
obviously the serious, very
Yeah,
organized character
yeah,
out of all the pets.
yes,
So yeah,
yes.
that was just a great show. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else from that show. Um, oh, here.
Well, it's fun. It was fun. It was fun. Blythe going off on her, like, wasn't there the little story arc where she went to Paris for the fashion thing,
Yes.
right? To pursue her style. And we all kind of went along with her, didn't we? Snuck along,
Yeah.
or
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. I remember that. And
yeah.
there were a couple different story arcs. There was the other one where she went to like this she left to go to this like college or whatever for like designer fashion or whatever. Like FUN, I think it was called. And you had the like
Yes.
little
Oh, and I
song.
want to give a special.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I have to give a special shout out to Shannon Chan Kent for playing the Biscuit Twins because they were some of my favorite characters on the show. They cracked me up so bad. And
Biscuit Twins.
I got to play their father, Fisher Biscuit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but the Biscuit Twins were, she did such a good job with those two characters. I just love,
Yes.
I love their little back and forth and everything, and they were just so, I don't know, they made me laugh.
Yes, yes. One of my favorite songs is the one with the BFF best friends forever. And then it's like they had the freaking like Butler like dancing along too or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there were some really funny moments on that show for sure.
yeah. And uh oh yeah, and I was gonna bring up this episode too since you voiced um, the Biscuit Father. There was the episode where Mrs. Trombley like broke into their house because like he bought a doorknob off of like eBay or whatever. He outbidded her. Remember that one? And like she stole the doorknob off like their bathroom door for her collection, and like Blythe got locked in the bathroom. Remember that one?
Yes, Mrs. Twombly. She was, I forgot about Mrs. Twombly. That was Kathleen Barr, I believe.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yes, yes. That was, yeah, she did a good job doing that as well. Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah.
She's great.
All right. So now I got to get my list up again because again, okay. Here's another good one. You were in Hamtaro, by far one of the best animes ever, and no one's gonna agree with me on that.
Oh, there might be a couple of people out there.
Yeah,
It's
because
in terms of cute characters, it doesn't get much more chibi cute than that show.
yes, yes,
I'll show you you probably seen it. Oh, you saw it in the video, but I got my one little sent all the way from Japan from a fan. Sent that one to me.
that's
So
so
this is
cute.
one. It's really adorable, isn't it?
Yes,
Right, so this is my Dexter. Oh, don't you howdy. You just stay away from Pashmina. I mean, not that I like Pashmina, but, well, maybe I do. But anyways, I'm getting nervous. I have to get out of here. Crumb, 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 crumb.
because again,
And I also have a special Hamtaro book too that somebody gave, or I think it was the director who did the voice directing, whoever the client left us with some stuff. So I have an official Hamtaro book. I haven't got anybody sign it though. That I should have got that. I should have got Kiara Zani to sign it and stuff, but I still
yeah,
have that too,
yeah.
which is cool.
So again, just an amazing show, amazing cast. Like you had Kiawazani with the voice of Hamtaro, and you had so many just amazing. Tabitha St. Germain was in that show. Uh, you had Chantel Strand in that show.
Yeah, Chantel. She was she Pashmina, or was she the? I'm trying to remember who played Pashmina. See, obsessed with Pashmina.
Well, I'm just a little obsessed with Pashmina.
Yes, there was great. I remember Chantel was in there. I know. I think Paul Dobson played Howdy, if I remember correctly. But
Yeah. And there was
I mean, I
also
didn't see any of these people in the studio. We went in individually. We went in individually
yeah.
to record our parts, like so we were dubbing. So it's
Okay.
not like we had the whole cast in the room. So you would have to kind of hear the voice and go, oh, okay, that's that person, and then you got used to knowing who was in the show with you.
Yeah, because obviously, anime is probably done a little differently since it's all dubbed and everything.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
done. Yeah, we go in separately, so yeah. But then you
yeah.
get to know everybody, but then you hear it and then you go, okay, that it's that person and that person. Then you might see them in the lobby when you finish your part. You come in there waiting to go in to do their part, so you go, oh hey, how's it going? Kind of like that.
Yeah, you had I'm trying to think who else you had. You had Matt Hill was one of the humans. Um I forgot his name, was the guy who played soccer, I think. Uh uh
I know Michael Coleman was in the show. I can't remember which character he played, but
yeah.
he was
Um
also a character.
and you had I'm trying to think. Oh, Alex Coda was in that show too. Alex Coda was in
Alex Carter.
Yeah, she was in that
Oh,
show.
okay.
And um Kelly Sheridan was in that show.
Kelly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so just amazing cast in Hamtaro, and such a good show. Probably my favorite episode is the one where again, I can't remember. I gotta rewatch the show. It's been so long. One of the human characters, I remember he like made a friend with one of the hamsters, and the hamster was trying to get a gift for his human friend. Uh, and like he didn't realize that it was like a gift he was trying to give him, and he was like, it was all sad. He was like crying the whole episode, and then finally like they went to his school or whatever, and he realized like, hey, this is for me from the hamster, and all the humans are like, dude, you're crazy.
I I don't remember that episode to be honest with you. But you're saying that was one of your favorites?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I wish I could remember. Again, it's been so long. It's like one of those because I haven't watched Hamtaro in like
Believe me, if it's been just as long for me too. Because I
yeah,
never got to see the show being broadcast, so most of my memories are from when I was actually recording the show.
yeah.
So
That that makes
hard
sense.
to,
Yeah.
do you ever run into Hamtaro like on DVD somewhere on Wild? Have you
No,
ordered
it's
it?
hard to
Do you have it
find.
even on
Like,
DVD?
there's no
Yeah,
episodes on YouTube or anything.
yeah, it's hard to find.
Yeah, only the original Japanese version is online. So I don't even know where you can watch
Yeah,
the Canadian dub because I can't find it
yeah,
anywhere. And maybe
yeah.
someone who watches this can comment down below and let us know where we can watch Hamtaro, the Canadian dub.
Yes, if you know, put a link down below.
Yes,
Throw,
definitely.
throw
Uh,
us a lead.
so now I think I saved the two biggest shows for last. Like I said, we're going
All
up.
right, here we go.
All right, so um, of course, we got to do Ed and Nettie for last. That's the most notable show. So probably I'm gonna do right now. You're in this show too. You're in Friendship is Magic. You voiced the Flim and Flam brothers.
So take this opportunity in this very community. He's Flam with the world famous Flim Flam Brothers. Traveling sales ponies, not parade.
That's right, it was Scott McNeil and myself as the Flim Flam Brothers. All right, tell me what we got there, brother of mine. It's the same in every town. Ponies with thirsty throats, dry tongues, and not a drop of cider to be found. Maybe they're not aware that there's really no need for this teary despair. The key that they need to this one, I can't remember. I used to memorize that song. I was like, yeah, sing. Well, you've got opportunity in this very community. He's Flim, he's Flam with the world famous Flim Flam Brothers. Traveling sales known as Nampare. Nampa what? Nampare, and that's blah blah blah. Why you see? Blah, blah. Oh man, that was a tough one to learn to do. The
Yeah.
song was. It
And
was
you
like
have the
when we did it.
toy, don't you, of the Flim Flam?
Oh yes, I do. I have a couple of. I do have this. I have one loose actually, and then I have a couple still in on package. But I do have. I'll show you. Wait one moment. I'll be back immediately. Right here, I have it in my studio. There they are.
So cool.
Flim and Flam, hanging out on the super squeezy cider squeezy. What super squeezy cider squeezy 6000? Super cheesy, super wheezy. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Drink a cider, 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 cider. Yeah,
Such a detailed toy right there.
it's not
Um,
bad. It's not bad.
yeah.
Uh,
And
yeah.
again, so what was your experience working on Friendship is Magic? And again, like that show, like it was so huge. Like that's another show you could say like just about every single major Vancouver actor was in that show, I would say.
I would say, and everybody in Vancouver who is a voice actor wanted to be on that show
Yeah.
when it was on air because it became such a phenomenon for people, and I was very happy for the cast of that show because I felt like it was one of the few times that maybe, and just saying personally, maybe Ed and Eddie was there too, but it was one of the first real times where I felt like a Canadian cast was getting much deserved love for their performances on a show that had, worldwide wide appeal.
Yes.
And so I was proud of all of them for having that success and getting that kind of response, and then being able to go and meet the fans at all the conventions and get some love. I thought it was great.
Yes. So the
And
show obviously, just blew up, with the
yeah,
Brony community and just
hmm
everything. And so the first time I heard of Brony was back in grade three. There was this kid in my class who came in and he was wearing a My Little Pony shirt, and I'm like, interesting.
interesting. And he like, you like the shirt? And he said, "Bro hoof." And you're like, well, what is that? What is that?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's right, and that's actually right around the time the show came out, like when it was like in its first, second season, I think, and then after that, it just blew up, went on for 9 seasons, one of the longest lasting shows on the Hub Network. It, it's actually a very good show. Animation again is great. A lot of the same people from Littlest Pet Shop obviously worked on that show. Very talented cast. Uh, and like the flash animation, it's just phenomenal. The like expressions they use in that show, like it's just so good.
I agree.
Yeah,
Top notch. From the animation to the storytelling to the character development, it was really well done. Really
yeah,
well
and
done. That's why
yeah,
so many people gravitated towards it because it had top quality going on
yeah.
in all the different areas.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons it got so popular is because like there's so many, cartoons that are just so, like especially in the adult animated world that are so like mean-spirited, and like I think the show, like especially with people on the autism spectrum, it really connected to them like with the like lightheartedness and like the message about friendship and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see that when you went to the BronyCons and things, just so many people, well, friendship is magic, right? But just yeah, that show really impacted a lot of people in a lot of different communities. Um, and they really gravitated toward it, and it had a definite positive vibe for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah.
So I didn't grow up with Friendship is Magic. I'm gonna be honest. The My Little Pony I grew up with was G3, and this is one of my favorite plushes right here. This is
Oh yeah.
Minty from the movie A Very Minty Christmas. I watched this as a kid on Disney Channel because it aired, I think, like once on Disney Channel as a kid. and I randomly watched it when it aired. And this movie always stuck out to me because not only is it like so ridiculous now, because like Minty breaks the candy cane on the tree and it's like, oh no, Santa's not gonna make it to Ponyville or whatever. But just Minty is one of the most amazing characters ever because Tabitha St. Germain killed just the performance was so great.
Wow, I haven't seen that movie, to be
Yeah,
honest. I think I've seen it when I'm going, thrifting, shopping. Sometimes I've seen it there on the DVD shelf and I've looked at it. So that was a Vancouver cast movie?
yeah. You had Tabitha St. Germain. You had Janice in that
Denise,
movie.
yeah.
You had Kelly Sheridan. You had who else was in that movie? That's all I remember right now. But I think Andrea Libman might have been in there too. I can't remember.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but you know what the most amazing thing about this toy is? It actually has the voice of Tabitha.
But
It's
it's actually Tabitha's voice, huh?
yes, it is. Yeah, it's her
Oh, that's
singing.
amazing.
Yes.
Oh, great.
I wish you could hear it because it's
Where
amazing.
where did you find that?
I found it on eBay. These are very hard to find, but I found one for a good price and I had to get it. Uh,
Nice.
and so one other show, you may have been in this show because this show used the Vancouver cast as well. This is probably one of my favorite cartoons. This is one of my favorite plushes I own. Martha Speaks right here.
Oh, Martha Speaks. Yeah. I did a couple of episodes. Not a lot, but I was on that show a couple of times.
Yeah,
Couple
again, so this was by Tabitha St. Germain.
Yeah, Tabitha was Martha.
Yeah,
Good dog,
and
yeah.
these are real. In fact, Tag, I think these were just made for like WGBH Boston, which was like the PBS affiliate in the US
Oh,
then.
wow.
So these are extremely rare. I found this at a place in Couts, Indiana, believe it or not, which is like a very small town. I got lucky finding this.
Well, it sounds like it. If it's
Yeah,
that rare. That's
because
cool.
you go on eBay and sometimes these are priced for like $150 or more. It's crazy.
I believe it.
Yeah. So you and Martha Speaks did a couple episodes of that. Another show,
Yeah.
um, I posted this on my story, and this is like the only show you said you don't remember being in. So there was a show called 321 Penguins. You were in one episode, and the show was actually from the same creators of VeggieTales. I'm sure you've heard of VeggieTales, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Didn't you send me the actual clip of me speaking?
yeah, and I know it's you because it was you doing the Double D voice and
No, I know
everything.
it's me too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, when you sent me the clip and I listened to it and I said, "Yeah, that's me."
yeah.
Do you know who stole it?
Yes! Caught the thief trying to escape! Gizmoid!
I didn't steal anything, I tell you. I'm innocent. Go ahead, search me.
Gizmoid is guilty! Gizmoid!
So the show again used the Vancouver cast and had some great people in it. Andrea Libman was in that show. Uh, Ian James Collette was in that show. Um, Claire Collette was in that show. Uh,
Blair,
Scott
yeah.
Scott McNeil, Lee Tokar. So again, like really great cast in that show, and it's another very underrated show. And for being a Christian show like VeggieTales, like I'm surprised that it's as good as it is because most Christian shows, animated anyway, are awful. Like they have a
Hmm.
bad reputation, because they're like animated horribly and like voice acted horribly. They're usually pretty bad. But this one is actually really good. VeggieTales isn't that bad either, actually.
Hmm.
So
Well, it's good. Like I say, I totally forgot about that one.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And I totally recommend again when you get a chance the I think the whole series is on YouTube. Checking out an episode when you get a chance. Um,
Okay,
yeah.
for sure.
All right. Now it's time for the big one. We've been waiting for this, everyone. It's time for and I'm ready.
And I'm ready.
So, um, that is probably that is probably one of the biggest shows to ever come out, in my opinion, because like when it was out on Cartoon Network back in the day, it was huge here in the US. Like everybody loved the characters, and it was so freaking funny. Like its humor was so out of control. Like people just fell in love with it. So, what was some of your favorite, memories of being on that show?
Well, there was a lot. Being in the studio with Matt and Tony and working on that show was it's one of those once in a lifetime kind of shows you get to work on that has such a lasting impact on everybody. And going, just the friendship that's developed with Tony and Matt over the years is great.
Mm,
And just all the other cast members and all their roles in the show and working on a show that was so creator driven, the mind from the mind of the
Danny Antonucci.
madman Danny Antonucci.
Yeah.
So to have a show that it's has a timeless quality to it. Just being in the studio, listening to the other performers do their thing. Um, you know, memories sitting, reading, going through storyboards with Terry Klassen, sitting on the ground, going through the storyboards before we record, and then we do the recording, and then also getting the feedback from fans around the world. Letters from people from all different parts of the world saying how much they enjoyed the show. And also knowing that Cartoon Network was airing in the States but also worldwide.
Yeah.
We weren't really it wasn't really as much on our radar in Canada because it was on Teletoon for 13 episodes and then it went away. So we were kind of like in Canada doing our
So
jobs, doing the show and getting
Teletoon
feedback
kind of
if
just,
we left
yeah.
Canada. Sorry?
I said Teletoon kind of just swept it under the rug, it sounds like.
I don't know. I don't really know the reason why they didn't continue to air it. Maybe Cartoon Network didn't want them to. I don't know because it was a Cartoon Network show.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that all worked. So, but whenever you were in the States, you really got a sense of how important it was to the kids there. And obviously now when we go to the States and the conventions, it's you see it the because there's people are telling us that was my show before I went to school or this or that or the show I watched as soon as I got home and you guys you are my childhood is
Yes.
it's kind of the expression I hear quite a lot. So and some really really heartwarming stories too about how it brought families together and or some kids were like watching it behind their mom's back, but other kids were enjoying it with their siblings or their friends and
Yeah.
helping them get through tough times, and it's good to hear all that.
Yes. So exactly. Yes, the show is just amazing. The humor is just amazing because like it's off the balls, like very randomized humor. It's hard to explain. Like I don't even know how you explain it, but it's just it works so well in that show. And not only that, but also just the animation. It's just it's so unique and so good. Like one of my favorite parts of the animation style is the little squiggle vision technique it uses, where like the like outlines are like squiggling
Yeah,
all around. I always like that. It reminds me of Dr. Katz a little bit with the squiggle vision it uses. If you've seen that show. And
yeah.
not only that, but just again, the cast is just fantastic. You had Kathleen Ball in that show, who was Kevin, and did Kathleen play anyone else, or was it just Kevin? I can't remember.
Kathleen played I'm gonna always get Lee Marie and May Canker. I believe she played Marie Canker, the blue
Okay.
hair.
And you had Janice, who played one of the Kinkers as well, and of course Sarah.
Yeah, she played the redheaded Canker. Um, I believe that's Lee. Everybody going, you don't even know your Canker sisters, but she was the tough Canker sister, the one who
Yeah,
bossed everybody around. That was Janice. She played that, and also the
Sarah.
Sarah. Sorry, yeah, Sarah's.
Yeah,
And
and you
sis-
had the voice of freaking. I think he was Peter was the voice of Goku at one point from Dragon Ball, who
yes,
voices Wolf.
yeah.
You have broken the son of a shit. I can't do the voice.
He's up there with the son of a shepherd. He was way up there and wow.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, yeah. And then you had wasn't Tabitha Saint Germain Naz at one point?
He was in the beginning. Yeah, and then Aaron Math or not Aaron, I keep saying Aaron took over that part of Naz and played the other Canker too. So
Do you know why she left?
you know what? I'm not quite sure. I don't know the story behind that. It's been
Yeah,
too long in my brain. I don't. It's like a blur. I
yeah.
don't really know.
I'm trying to get Tabitha on my show too, by the way.
Oh, you do. She's a lot of fun.
Yeah. But yeah, who else is there? Uh,
Well, David, who went by Buck in the beginning, but
yeah.
David Avalon played Johnny.
Oh yeah, yeah, Johnny 2x4 and
Yeah, Johnny two
goes
by four.
Plank.
And then Keenan Christensen played Jimmy.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Jimmy, I think after Jimmy he retired from voice acting, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. So did Tony. Tony retired from voice acting too, I guess, and Keenan did as well.
Yeah, yeah. And um so did you know that Ed and Eddie, so this is how much of an impact they had in here in the States. Before Adventure Time came out, which is another one of my favorite cartoons, you can tell because I have all my Adventure Time show
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the statue back here. Um,
I see that. It's nice.
so anyway, before Adventure Time, Ed and Eddie was, I think, the longest running Cartoon Network show, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and
Is that right?
originally, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were going to end the show, but it was so popular that they came back for another season. And of course, like when they were renewed for another season, they went to school in this season, if you remember that.
Yes, I do. Yeah, they just decided to switch it up. New environment, the school environment.
Yeah, one of my favorite episodes from the school environment was the Valentine's special
Oh
because
yeah.
you had like Sarah who was playing Cupid and like freaking Double D, you fell in love with one of the Kinkos.
Oh dear, oh dear. Are you sure that wasn't the Nightmare episode special? Valentine's Day? Oh my.
Yeah, because see, I always get the Kinkos confused too. It was the one um which
Blue
Kinko,
hair
but
or blondie with buck teeth or the redhead.
it was the Ed equivalent of the Kinko, um, the one that had a crush on
Oh,
Ed.
so
Which one was that again?
I think that's Lee. No, wait, Lee. I always got Aaron's gonna kill me. You don't even know the name of my character.
See, I'm the, but yeah. So what
Because I'm
happened?
so scared of them. I don't remember their names. I'm
Yeah,
Traumatized. I'm just so traumatized by all of it.
So, so Ed, of course, ran off, and then Double D felt bad, so he gave her a Valentine, and then she fell in love with Double D, and then Sarah playing Cupid in that episode hit Double D with the like arrow.
Feeling better, May? Well, nice talking to you. Oh, would you look at this? Work, work, work. And to think this assignment is worth 40% of our term. Can I be your partner?
Hey, ballet! Oh, way to go, numbskull! You ruined my shirt!
Stupid! Don't you know never to mix ferric oxide with an aqueous suspension? May? I've never seen that side of you. I've developed a mean bathroom deodorizer, too. Well, perhaps it's a conversation best had in a very busy public area, yes?
Now that Double D's been smitten by the course of Cupid's will, ever shall a note be written, the blood gets thicker still.
Love poison.
Yeah, oh my God. And then the rest of the episode is just total freaking chaos. Like they're trying to separate the two. The Kinkers are trying to separate their sister, and Eddie and Ed are trying to separate Double D, and it's just chaos.
I'm gonna have to watch it again. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to go back and watch it again.
yeah. And then there was the Halloween special too. I think it was the same season, if I'm not mistaken, where Ed just went batshit crazy and was beating up like everyone the entire episode because he had like the tunnel vision or whatever.
He was like the Viking.
Yeah, yeah. And then at the end, it's like everyone else beat up Eddie and Double D, yet Ed did not get beat up, even though he's the one who beat everyone up. It's like, what?
Can you beat up Ed? Is that possible? Can Ed get beat up? I don't know.
I don't know.
He takes a licking and keeps on ticking. That
Yeah,
guy.
I don't think that you got a good point. Like think about how many houses you destroyed throughout the series.
Yeah.
Like
he
Ed can lift up an entire house.
yeah, he created a lot of damage. And
Yeah.
this
That
didn't affect him. He didn't care.
that's probably why insurance rates through the cul-de-sac or through the roof.
The only way you could really get to Ed is thinking that he was gonna get in trouble because Sarah was gonna tell on him. That's the only time it like mentally affected Ed was, oh, please don't. Sarah's going to tell on me, and that is going to be the end of my life. That was kind of like Ed's kryptonite, was Sarah telling on him.
Yeah. Definitely. So we need to talk about probably one of my favorite moments in the Ed and Eddie series, which is the movie. This is probably one of the best TV movies for any show I have ever seen, in my opinion, because it was really good.
That's what people say, that it was good. And, I thought it was pretty good too when I first saw it. I thought this isn't bad.
Yeah,
I'm glad that the fans thought that it lived up to what they wanted. So it's
yeah,
good to
because
hear.
most of the TV movies don't live up to the show, obviously, or theatrical movies based off television shows. But this one was really, really good. It was a great ending to the series. Uh, like it was great to finally see, like at the end, all of these characters like come together and be friends. It was amazing.
Well, one thing I'll remember that about that show or recording that was just the first 15 minutes of the show was high octane, kind of like high intensity. Like Danny was like, you guys have to be like, if this is 10, you got to be at 11 for the first 15 minutes of this thing. You're just freaked out and everybody doesn't know what's going on, but you are just, looks like it's the end of the world.
Yeah,
So that was kind of like we had to sustain that kind of energy level for the beginning of the movie to make sure,
yeah,
that Danny was like, people are like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Why are the Eds freaking out so bad? So
So yeah, yeah. So
I remember.
definitely, this was definitely. You could tell that this was a cartoon made by Danny Antonucci because his style is very recognizable. Before Ed and Eddie, he worked on a lot of shows on MTV or like
That's right.
cartoons and little stuff. Like probably the best example is the Brothers Grunt. You ever seen that show?
Brothers Grunt, yeah. I think they did the voices in Vancouver for that too. I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Brothers
And
Grunt.
um, so what's interesting about the Brothers Grunt, and I totally recommend checking this out, checking out the show, because I never noticed
Yeah.
this until I looked it up recently. The title cards used in the Brothers Grunt are the same backgrounds from Ed, and Eddie.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I'll have to check that out.
yeah. Which is it's really, really cool. But yeah,
My first intro to Danny was back years before I ever met Danny. Was he had this little short segment called Lupo the Butcher. Have you ever seen that?
I think I have. Wasn't that for
Have you-
MTV as well?
It's basically just, and we had this Sick and Twisted Animation Festival up here, or maybe it was all over the place, but I remember going to see Sick and Twisted Animation Festival, and Lupo the Butcher was basically this big butcher guy, Italian, you know, in the very Antonucci style of animation, and he cuts off his own, I think it was his finger, his own thumb, and it just squirts blood. He's like, ah, my thumb! It's just this. It's like it's probably not even longer than a minute, but
Yeah.
that was kind of my first
Even
intro to
yeah,
Antonucci's,
even
style and
yeah.
stuff.
If you think about it, even the logo for AKA cartoon is kind of disturbing looking.
Yes.
Like
Yes, exactly. I used to have a great AKA cartoon shirt that I wore the crap out of it, and it's long since disappeared from my wardrobe. But that was, yeah, that classic style of what is going on there in that picture. You're not quite sure. You try and look at it closer and go, what's something's going on with that pencil and that dude. I don't know what, but yeah,
yeah,
it
it's
was a
very
good logo.
yeah, very creative, but also it gets the edge behind like we're edgy at AKA
Yeah.
cartoon. So
Yes, exactly. Having that edge.
yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh no, I was probably gonna just talk about Ed and Eddie is also the side,
Yeah,
all the people on the storyboard, all the artists on that side of
yeah,
the production were really talented, creative people too. And that was a fun thing that we would go in. Danny always encouraged people to come and meet each other and come on down to the studio
yeah,
and see what we're doing here. So, on occasion we would, aside from the Christmas parties, which were
yeah,
kind of legendary,
yeah,
but we would go to the studio. It was in Gastown in Vancouver, and we would just go and see the storyboard artists at work, working
yeah,
on, the storyboards, and a lot of them, and just they had great personalities, and they're real characters too themselves. So there was some great storyboard artists back that started out, in the beginning. Big Jim Miller, who went on to work with him on like My Little Pony and other things, and Joel Dickey, who went to work on Little's Pet Shop,
yeah,
and Scott Underwood, who's mega talented, just brilliant cartoonist, and James Wooden. Yeah, like, it was good seeing all those people in their environments doing their thing too. It was really
yeah.
cool.
So, all right. Let me think. Have a couple more questions and then we'll wrap this up here. So,
Yeah.
um, were you in, I completely forgot about this, so we're gonna go back to a Friendship is Magic for a minute. Were you in Equestria Girls? I can't remember.
I think I showed up as Flim in Equestria Girls, like human form. I think.
Yeah.
No.
I think maybe.
Did we have a song in that one or no? I can't remember. I don't think we did.
Well, there was one song. I bring up Equestria Goes. In fact, here I'm gonna get up for. Oh, they're right here. Perfect, perfect. I found these recently. So I bought some of these little figures right here,
Oh,
new in the box. So
nice.
I got three of them. I got Pinkie Pie, uh, Rarity,
Rarity, yeah.
and this is my favorite character right here, Sunset Shimmer.
Oh yeah, Sunset Shimmer. Nice.
So, but I was gonna mention that there's this one song that I have not been able to get out of my head for I swear to God, like 5 weeks because it's so catchy. That's like, we can work together, helping twilight run the crown. You know that song?
I don't remember that song. Was I in that song? No, I wasn't
No,
in
you're
that.
not. But it. Oh
Okay.
my
I
God, it's
was like,
so catchy. It's so catchy.
well, yeah.
Uh,
Send me a clip of it or something on Instagram so I can hear it.
yes, I will be sure to do that. So, um, two other questions. So first of all, what was the first um animated show you voiced in? Do you remember?
Yes. It was a anime show for it was called Dragon Warrior, and it was based on a video game in Japan which was called Dragon Quest. So it was called Dragon Quest, and then when it came to doing it in America, they couldn't use the name Dragon Quest because it was taken by some RPG game that already had that name, so they had to change it to Dragon Warrior.
Yeah.
And we only did 13, we dubbed 13 episodes of that show. That was my first time ever doing anything for voice, like professionally. And it was fun. It was my first challenge trying to dub something, you know, matching the flaps and all that. And I managed to do it. And it's you know, it
Yeah.
was my first time doing voice ever. So I listened back a little bit and
Yeah.
kind of cringe a little bit because it was my first role,
And
but
of
that's
course,
just the way it is, right? You go, ooh,
yeah.
you know, I think I got better,
Yeah, you
but
most certainly
it was a
did.
good first start.
You most certainly did because you're literally, in my opinion,
Thank
you're
you.
one of those voices that is so iconic. Like when your voice pops up in a cartoon, you're immediately like, "Whoa, that's Sam Vincent." Because that,
Well, yeah, I hope that's a good thing. Yeah, I hope people, you know, go, whoa, that's Sam Vincent. As opposed to, oh, that's Sam Vincent. So thank
oh
you.
no, no, not
Appreciate
in disgust. Because Sam Vincent is not only one of the greatest Canadian voice actors, he is. I consider him a close friend, and he is one of the kindest persons ever.
Wow. I'm gonna tell my wife that. She's gonna. No, I'm just joking. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So, another show you were in, I forgot to bring this one up, and I think I see a figure behind you. You were in, here, I gotta do the theme song, Street Sharks.
I was never in Street Sharks. I
You
was in
were?
Extreme Dinos.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
no,
were, no.
yeah, no, no, I love Street Sharks because with Street Sharks, Matt Hill and Lee Tokar were in the Street Sharks series.
That's who I was
And
thinking of,
then
Matt Hill.
the
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and and then the Extreme Dinos were introduced at the tail end of Street Sharks. The Extreme Dinos were introduced, but they weren't. It was different casts. I think maybe Ian Corlett was one of the dinosaurs. I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly how it went. And then that show ended, and then when they started up Extreme Dinos as its own thing, they did a whole new reboot on the cast, and then I got cast as Steggs. So I'm Steggs, and the two shows are associated. I believe it's Deke again, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I, you know, I came to love Street Sharks kind of after the fact because I was getting into vintage toys and then the fact that Lee and Matt were in it made it even more kind of like fun for me to watch and go, oh, you know. So yeah, Street Sharks is something I like, and I like like I say, I have that one Street Shark that I found thrifting, and they're hard to find because everybody wants them.
Yeah,
Like they're really
definitely. Exactly.
they're
Yeah.
they're sought after. They've done some new re-editions of them, but the old school ones, you know, to find those thrifting are hard to find, and when you do, you're like,
Mine, my precious.
Yeah. That's how I am when I go to
Yeah.
Goodwill and Salvation Army as well.
Yeah.
All right. So for a final question, this is kind of a high pressure question. This may
Oh
be a
boy.
hard one. Um, what is one of your favorite characters you've ever voiced?
My favorite, obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious. I mean, Double D is going to be probably number one.
Yeah.
Just because of the, you know, not only because of the impact that it had on other people, it's just
Yeah.
one of those things that is it's a unique creation from, you know, coming from Danny and the whole show and being a part of that, you know, it's just a unique thing that I cherish. And then obviously Baby Looney Tunes is a huge thing, and personally for me in my career too, it was like
Yeah.
a big moment in my career where I felt like, man, okay, I'm finally like I'm a voice actor. I'm
Yeah.
doing something like substantial here. You know, it was like tackling three characters in a show and kind of iconic characters. That kind of for me, I felt like it was me going, okay, I can call myself a voice actor now. And I really loved, I don't know, I really loved doing a show called Martin Mystery too, which I get
Martin,
a lot of shouts
yes.
out. I get a lot of love from people about that show. It got a lot of air in Canada and down in the States, but mostly in Canada, a lot of people remember Martin Mystery. And that was just a fun show because it was just, he was such a goofball and it was like paranormal stuff. And I liked all that stuff because I liked, you know, Scooby-Doo and things like that
I
growing
forgot
up. So
about
for me,
that show. Wasn't that from the
yeah.
same creator as Totally Spies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Martin Mystery crossed over into Totally Spies in one or two episodes one time, and you know, and to be honest with you, I'm really enjoying playing Lloyd Garmadon right now on Ninjago Dragons Rising.
Okay.
That's been it's been a very I love the show. I love the kind of the messages of the show
Yeah.
and and his storyline and his arc and journey as a character has been a lot of fun to go, and I had an opportunity to do some really fun acting scenes with people that I worked with before um, on that show, and it's still going with season 3 of Dragons Rising coming out soon on Netflix, and so that's that's a show that I really enjoy right now, and you know, yeah. Anyway, I mean, there's lots of shows I love for different. I loved a lot of the stuff I did for Nerdcore too. Like I did a show called Stormhawks, and I did a show called Slugterra, which was a lot of fun to do. Um, so it's hard to say exactly. And then I really loved playing Betrayus on Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures because
Yeah.
he was a bad guy. And
Yes.
I've got his little thing here too. I don't know if you recognize him, but I've got him as a Stuffy.
Oh, I'm going to get Pac-Man soon. Just you wait and see.
So he's fun.
Yeah. That show
Oh.
kind of left off on a cliffhanger, I think.
Yeah, they told us that it might come back for more, and it never happened. So we were like, but no, unfortunately, but we had a pretty good run with that show, and that was a fun show. Like I played way too much Pac-Man as a kid, like way too much, and so to be in that show as an adult, in quotations, you know, it was pretty cool to be part of Pac-Man too. I love that.
Definitely, definitely. Well, anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this up.
All
Thank
right,
you so much for joining us, Sam, because
dude. This is your first official episode?
yes, and I'm trying to get more people up. Like I said,
Okay.
I would love to get some
Congratulations
more.
to you.
Yeah.
Way to go. And you tell them Sam Vincent said you're awesome. And you say, when you try and invite other people, you say Sam Vince was on the show and he said I was awesome. So
Yeah, yeah,
hopefully that'll be a good selling point for you to get on that they'll come on on your show.
yeah. I just hope you had a good time as well.
Oh, I had an awesome time.
Yeah, yeah, me too. And
And
I'm
maybe we'll see each other again at another con sometime. Are
definitely,
you in the
yes.
Chicago area? Is that why you came to Springfield? Because it
I'm
was close
from
by to you?
Indiana.
Okay, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
Right.
South Bend, Indiana, home to Notre Dame. That's
Awesome.
pretty much all it's known for, pretty much.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, because Indiana, I have a lot of pride in my state, but there's not much in Indiana compared to other places. So
huge Hoosiers, man. Basketball, baby.
yeah, yeah, you know it,
uh,
you know it. But yeah,
Hoosiers. Woo.
so this is exciting. Yeah, like I said, I would love to get, some other Vancouver actors. I mainly want to get Tabitha St. Germain because she probably is one of my biggest inspirations, honestly, to want to get into voice acting and everything.
Does she actually respond to you on Instagram yet?
Yeah, I we've been chatting on Cameo a little bit.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
And I would love to get some other people like maybe Matt Hill or Kiara Zani maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
I
some
know,
other,
I know, I know. Matt would be up for it. You get him,
yeah.
you get him on Instagram and say, "Hey, remember we shot that video?" Because he's on Instagram, but he's not like on there all the time. So you just have to remind him, "I'm doing a show. Sam did it," and he'll go, "Okay, I'll do it too."
That would be awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, thank you for joining us, Sam. And I'll stay in touch with you on Instagram. And of course,
Yeah, I want to see all your new finds when you go.
yeah, definitely.
And
And thank
and if, and
you
if if
to
you find that
everyone.
if you find that Russell stuff,
Yes,
let me know.
yes, yes, definitely. I'm gonna keep a lookout. I'm gonna keep a lookout. Maybe
All
I'll
right.
even, if I find two, I'll send one to you.
Oh man, that would no. That would be life changing for me. Thank you, bud.
Yes, yes, but I'm gonna keep a lookout, but my likelihood of finding one not so good right now. In fact, I
Uh,
don't even know if let's see if I have a picture put up of it. It's a very nice plush.
I think you sent it to me, the picture of it. Going, I'm looking for this still.
Yeah, yes, yes. Right here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Look at those big green eyes. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Such a well-made plush, like Hasbro. What the heck? Like you should have released it over here, dude.
Oh man.
All right, but yeah, thank you for joining us, Sam. And I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Keep on watching for more interviews in the future, hopefully. All right,
Yes.
all right,
All right.
bye.
Take care. Bye.